Want to know what we've been reading and listening?
Get caught up with these reviews with Untamed and Crystal.
Welcome to the Get Caught Up podcast, book review edition. You want to know what we've been reading?
Okay, intro didn't want to talk.
Said, give it to me one more time.
I
One
know,
more time.
right? When ask the question once and again, didn't it? Well, you guys, welcome to our newest episode, should I say? Because we have Writer Wednesdays, and we have the author interviews, we have the book discussion, and we have narrator of the month. Jesus, it's hard to keep up with.
It is, but that's what happens when we like to read.
Exactly. So I'm gonna put on my spectacles.
And I just took
Okay.
mine off so I can hear what you about to say.
Right. Because tonight we are coming back to you. Our very first one, we started out with none other than Miss Gray Huffington's Wilde Reckless. It was a novella and didn't realize then that it was a three-part series when I first started it. But it's cool, it's cool. Crystal and I have gotten through books 2 and 3. So this book review is going to discuss books 2 and book three. So we're
Yeah.
here to talk about Wild and Relentless, which is book 2, and Wild and Restless, which
Restless.
is book 3. And I'm a hope I keep all of that straight because those words are so close to
It's like tongue twisters. That's how it is.
exactly. So, I do want to give a shout out, as always, to our lovely sponsors, the ones who pay the money that jiggles and folds. We appreciate you for the dearest crevices of our little old hearts. But
Yes.
now it's all about this book. So we are, but hold on, for the people so they can know what we talking about. Let me get over here and get to it. I'll
Yes.
show y'all the cover of book 2 because that's one that we're going to be discussing. If I can get to it, I think it's book 2. No, that's book 3. This is book 2. So this is book 2, Wild and Relentless. So just to refresh y'all about who the book was actually about. The book is about Wilde and Jaleel. Wilde,
Mm-hmm.
single mother. She is a stripper who co-parents her son with her grand, and her son has a severe autoimmune disease. And Jaleel is the local mayor. No, not married, no kids, single black man, strong, good looking.
Mm.
And this
And did
is,
she say he the mayor?
yeah, he the man, honey.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, the mayor. I love. You know what I do? I'll say this. This is my second book reading about a mayor. I'm for some reason I think I have an affection for books about men in politics.
I mean, I don't like politics. I ain't
I
even
don't
gonna sit here
politics.
and lie. But for these two and the other book, if you talking about the same book I'm talking about, from Miss Aubrey Penn, A Date with the Mayor, is that the second one you talking about?
I love that one too, and also Kennedy Ryan series, the King and the Rebel King. Now he wasn't a mayor; he actually ended up being president. Ugh.
Okay, okay. So we politicking, but like I said, I'm not a politics fan. But for them, I would do. Okay, go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. I
Listen,
will politic. I will be on that campaign trail.
let me tell you something. Everything in my soul wants to be Maxim Cade's wife. Okay,
You trying to be the first lady of the United States? You
I
trying to be Miss Flotus?
I'm trying to be Miss Flotus, honey.
I'm okay with the mayor. Let me just go ahead and help him run his little city. We
You
fine with that.
too mad with Jaleel neither now. So,
That part.
so I'm trying to say, and then okay, so here's the thing: book one and book two, they are in audiobook, and they were narrated very well by Miss B. Okay,
The entire book, you guys. She narrated the entire book by herself and did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal.
you know what? She is. I won't say that she's 100% there yet, but I will say that she is primed to be Wesley number two.
Yes.
And
I like that. I like that. I like that for her.
I like that for her too.
Yes.
So, Elizabeth, that yes, if you ever hear this, yes, ma'am, you on Wesley Siobhan status because the way you was able to shift back and forth to that male voice and that female voice, you on to something.
You know what I'm saying? And if you hear this, come join us on the show. We would love that. What you think?
Love
You
it.
know I'm gonna have to find her and slide up in her DM.
Do what you got to do, honey. Do
I
what you
got you.
do. I'm excited for it. So now we got to jump into book two. So we're gonna do book two. Our thoughts on book two, and then our thoughts on book three. Because book two, it picks up, of course, with Wilde and Jaleel trying to live life apart. Like they've
Mm.
had their rendezvous and they decided, okay, it was a one time thing. We're gonna go and just live our life separately. But that one time proved to be a little bit too much for them because they can't stay away from each other. They're like, all right, you know what? Let me go ahead and try to dip back over here a few more times. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what that reminds me of? You know how you go to the soft serve ice cream place and you get you a nice big cone of vanilla ice cream and then you want them to dip it in some chocolate? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Knowing I'm not supposed to have it, but go ahead and dip that ice cream cone in that chocolate.
Listen, you sound like the little girl who was going to tachos for her birthday. Talk about so what you get? A margarita. Yeah.
Yes. I'll take a margarita too.
Listen, he was the margarita, baby. He was
Mm.
listen,
He was
okay.
he was a spicy margarita, a margarita that you wake up 2 days later and be like, damn, I'm still feeling that margarita.
Yeah, give me one margarita.
I will open my legs.
Give
Give me
me
two
two margaritas.
margaritas.
I'm,
Yes, we gonna give you some head.
that was Jaleel. Okay.
And
So
if you give me a third margarita, I'm gonna put it there.
four margarita.
Y'all know the song.
Give me five margaritas.
I just snorted. Lord Jesus. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Please forgive me.
Lord, please
Okay.
don't give me five margaritas. I can make it about three. But after that, woo.
Hey, if when I get to that third margarita, I got you. I got you.
Let me tell you.
hmm
Oh my gosh. But they just when Jaleel and Wild decide to be together, a blast from the past pop up.
Can I just say this? I'm sick of you heifers that ain't talked to a man in a month of Sundays, and all of a sudden you want to pop up thinking you the ish, and then when your feelings hurt, and I'm not gonna say she acted a fool, but just why did you show up?
And unannounced at that. At
At
somebody
that, what we don't do is pop up at folks' house.
now,
That's
and my thing was you popped up at this man's house like y'all was in a serious relationship. And you knew
never,
y'all in a serious relationship.
never, and that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the pop ups. Like you saying, when you know what it is from the beginning, and then all of a sudden he then ghosted you, or you then ghosted him, vice versa, because it goes both ways. Don't pop up at my house, because see, I'm gonna invite you in.
And he was the mayor. Like, why would you pop up at the mayor's house? Everything aside, like, this is the mayor's house. Come on. Respect who
But he
he is
was
to the
wrong for
public.
taking her to his house.
Now, he did say that. But yeah, even God took you to my house don't mean you can pop your behind up over here. How you know that man that he's a mayor. He made preparations and things for you to come over to his house.
Right.
So you just decide that you just gonna break security protocol and just pop up at this man's house. And I'm mad with security because how the hell she got to the front door? Krista, did I lose you? You know, froze.
Okay. I just had to turn off my Wi-Fi. I just saw that we was twisting. I feel like Beyonce's song. We swimming. We twisting. We twerking.
I know that's right. Listen, but like I was saying before they try to put everybody on mute. Look, they had everybody on mute. I bet with security.
Yeah.
How the hell the girl got to the front door?
That's another thing. So he wasn't secure as he thought he was.
Exactly, because if she get to the front door right there, but a disgruntled citizen could get to the front door.
Yep, that part. That part.
Because I'm sitting here like, because security had to know that girl was over there. She had been over there all day
And night.
and night.
And
So,
night.
y'all ain't had no business letting the other woman just floss her ass up there to their front steps now.
Mm-hmm. In a trench coat.
Okay, if I am the mayor or ain't the mayor, what you may or may not better do is to bring your tail to my house unannounced.
That part. Right.
Because I'm trying to tell you, I'm just real
Mm-hmm.
Joe. You ain't finna come up to my house. I don't care if you're in the neighborhood. You better call before you turn.
But I'm gonna also add something to this. I was at your house all night and the night before. I'm not gonna leave and walk. I'm gonna go sit my fat ass on that couch and wait for you to dismiss her, and then you gonna take me home. And I'm gonna have an attitude the whole way home. That
Exactly.
part.
Look, shit, they're trying to walk. Child, please. No, ma'am. What you not gonna have me do is do the walk of shame.
Let me tell you something. Me, this one right here, me, her, I have no problem doing a walk of shame. Cause guess what I'm gonna do? Now, only way it's a walk of shame is if it wasn't good.
Yeah.
But if that joint was right, I'm gonna switch back and forth slowly but surely. You walk of shame, you damn right. Cause it was good.
but but I will say this. I do. I Even though old girl was wrong and she was wrong, I will say I like the fact that she got put in her place and she didn't act a fool.
Right. Yes. She was a lady.
She was a lady about it. Even though she wasn't a
Yes.
lady about how she first handled it, she took it like a.
Right.
And then I love the fact that Wild did stand on business when it came to that. Like, yeah, at this point, you was talking about you was thinking about me all this whole time, but yeah, but you had somebody slide through, and that's cool. But now I can't trust the situation because what I'm not gonna do is play with you, and I don't know if you're trying to play with me because I got a kid at home and I ain't got time.
So let's elaborate on that, because when I interviewed Jade Olivia about her book A Month of Sundays, so if you guys didn't catch the interview, go catch it. Well, let me go back. So the reason why I said let's talk about that, because one of the questions I asked is, as authors, when we're writing, when that male character is saying that I love you, I want to be with you, and then the female character is like, well, I don't think this will work, we can't be together, and they break up, and then that male character go and either go back to the old thing or find a new piece of meat and do, and then all of a sudden and then the one he say he's in love with pops up and see them, and then they're upset saying, like you just said, you told me that you wanted to be with me and now you playing in my face, which one is it? And I liked her answer, and she basically said, just because I'm telling you how I feel doesn't negate the fact that you also told me that you didn't think this was going to work and I'm supposed to sit around and wait.
Exactly. And that was what I was going to say about Jaleel. Even though he did go out, he had every right to, because they had decided that, hey, this was just a one-time thing.
Time thing, right?
So he had this, he already had this situation ship,
Yes.
this situation ship with this other young lady. So he went back doing what he was already doing
What he
previously.
was already doing,
So,
right? It
well,
wasn't like she was a new person that he found. It was an old person that he felt, okay, people have needs, let me go do me.
and plus too, and this is why I give him leeway to it, because he didn't go out. How he met Wild wasn't that he was pursuing someone to date, or that he was trying to pursue her to have another situationship going. In the first book, he was at a strip club. He was just there to get a dance, and it turned, developed into more. And so that was a one-off situation. But like I said, I give him grace, because the situation that he had was just what it was. It wasn't a relationship. They weren't committed. So he still, regardless of what happened and how it happened, he still had every right to go do what he wanted to do, because that's the kind of time they was on. And so it's odd to say, but neither one of them was wrong. And
Right.
the girl wasn't wrong per se in how she handled the situation. The only thing she was wrong in is pulling up to his home unannounced.
And yes, that is one. And I would say the second thing, if you haven't heard from a man in a week or two, girl, don't pop up. That means he don't want you no more.
Talk about it. Talk about, hell, if you ain't heard from him about 2 to 3 days.
That part too. That you're right. That part too. It don't even take a week. It take days. That is true. That is definitely true.
Sorry, you're from Detroit, okay?
That one.
If
Yes.
the mayor ain't in that kind of trouble, if the mayor was in trouble and something had happened, she would have heard about it on the news.
Thank you. That part. So for me, book two, I did. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed how. Now, this is what I basically said that I enjoyed the most. Like, I enjoyed that Wilde knew that, okay, if I want to be with this person who runs a city that everybody know, I got to be a better person. It's time for me to get a real job. It's time for me to let my child be a child. Like, I love that she put him in daycare, that she was like a little bit more trusting for other people, because there will be some spoilers. Are we going to do a little spoilers?
Um,
Not too many.
I don't want to do the big spoiler. Mm.
Oh, I'm not doing a big spoiler. But what I am going to do, so in this book, her grandmother got sick. And I love the fact that Jaleel was there for her. Even
Yes.
though she wouldn't let him be there for her the entire time, I love that he was there for her. Like, she has, like we said, she has a young baby, and he's not young. So Cam is about 2. And the fact that, being at a hospital with a 2-year-old and a sick grandmother is a lot of pressure. So he was there, took Cam, and like helped her with him, that she trusted him enough with her child. I loved seeing that. That's one thing that I love seeing and that I loved about this book. My second thing I loved about this book is the conversation that said grandma had with Wilde and Jaleel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on, Wild. Did you not think your grandma paid you that much attention that she didn't know that you was doing what you was doing with the mayor? Girl, bye.
And then I will say this too. Like, me and you share similarities as to what I
Hmm.
like about it. I did like the fact that, Wild stood up in her grown woman shoes and said, listen, okay, Jaleel, you want me, I want you, but I need to be a person for myself.
Self, right?
To be doing, I need to have more business about myself because of
Yes.
are. And I want to
Hmm.
protect. And that was rooted in the fact that she wanted it for herself, of course, but she also understood that the position that he was in, regardless of how he felt for her, she knew that she had to just be more. on his arm than just some eye candy, because he was going to get scrutinized a lot more, especially being a young black man in that position.
Yep.
So
Yep.
she understood the plight of that, and she didn't want to tarnish his name or his image because of who she was and what she was doing. So he accepted her, but like she said, the public isn't. And I know I don't care about other people's opinions, but it's not so much as that, is the fact that you have a bigger mission in life that I need
Right.
prepared for, and you got to prepare for, because you can't be out here wilding out on people because they're talking about your woman. You know what I'm saying? So
And I think he will wild the
yeah,
f out
DF all the way out
the way
about
out.
what.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So he, she understood it. So I appreciated that, and I also like the fact that he saw a need with her son, and
Hmm.
he did what he had to do to have that need met, because that part was able to be the catalyst for her to say, okay, I can change, and
Right.
this is what I can now do. I don't have to continue to do this, because this, essential need that I had is now met. And I'm glad
Hmm.
that he fully stepped in, like he was ready to go. Like, hey, daddy ain't in his life, no problem.
I
He,
got you.
I'm here. And
Yep.
and and little Cam, he loved Jaleel. He loved
He did. Can
him.
he have some eggs? Can I have some eggs? Jaleel
Yeah,
made him some eggs.
and
It's
Jaleel
people
had
do not realize it's the
it,
simplest, smallest things with children.
exactly. And Jaleel didn't have no housekeeping there. He got him at himself. And
Yes.
he was on
And
his
let
best
the mama
stuff.
sleep. Your mama
Yeah,
tired, I got you.
exactly. So he was there being that helpmate. So that's what I loved about book two, and I love
Mm-hmm.
the audiobook. So
Yes.
I gave Wild and Relentless 5 stars.
Me
I
too. I
It
agree
was
with you
very
there.
good. So now we got to roll on to book three. That is the cover for book three.
Do I gotta go first? Okay.
I started off. I started
Okay.
off.
Okay. Go. Go.
Yep.
Go. Go ahead.
So book three. Okay, so at the end of book two, as we told y'all, Wild basically said, "I want to be with you. Give me some time to get my life together, and then we'll be together." So,
So can we talk about that? Because it went from he will give her some months, and she said no, I need a year.
mm-hmm.
Okay, girl, but okay.
She up here trying to take a year or whatever. So he said, "Okay, fine. I'll give you."
Hmm.
But Jaleel was basically like, "Why can't you do this and we be together?"
Yep.
So that's
Yep.
what his stance was. But he was trying to give her the time. And so book three starts off with this very long dream that Jaleel has. And it's premonition style dream. So
Hmm.
then we get into the book and we find out that grandmother is sick. She was in the hospital and she's been there for a while now, and so Wilde has really shifted her focus to seeing about her grandmother. And so what we find out is that Jaleel is also, visiting grandmother when Wilde is not there. You know,
Yeah.
Mm. Grandma of here playing possum. And so she
Listening to everything.
listening to all the things. And
Hmm.
so, but in the meantime, even though Wild is asking for this space, he still wanted to be like, okay, but we still need to communicate with each other. And so it's like they left on a note to where they could communicate, but they just wouldn't date and see each other. And so
Right.
he was trying to communicate. She had him on freeze, honey. She was not answering the phone. And he was just kind of
Petty.
just
Petty.
it turned real petty real quick. And I was like, what is she doing? And I know she's like, her thing was, I'm trying not to get myself so attached to him and all of this. But ma'am, Can you just say hello?
And this one, and I think I got it mixed up because the grandmother did say something to her in book 2, but like book 3, she had to say, "This is not Cam's dad.
Mm-hmm.
This is not Cam's dad." And I feel like sometimes we need somebody to tell us that just because it happened to you before is not bound to happen to you again. Not all men are the same.
Right. Right.
They're not all the same. So just because you experience this with Cam's dad doesn't mean you're going to experience it with the marriage. Like, this man has proven to you more than once that he's going to be there for you. Let
Yes.
him be there for you.
So then that's when the grandmother basically tells Jaleel, like, you got to give her a dose of her own medicine because she over here.
Yes.
And this is where it gets hairy for me because I feel like I love book 2, don't get me wrong. But I feel
Hmm.
like 3 should have swapped places because they spent a whole lot of book 3 arguing and being really petty with each other. Now, I agree that Jaleel didn't need to give her a dose of her own medicine, but at some point, it got very, like, childlike with their attitudes with each other. And I just kind of felt like this was coming towards the end of their journey of separating themselves so they could have their,
Hmm.
their happily ever after. And it was like, dang, y'all spent more time to get together when you didn't really know each other. Now that you know each other, y'all apart, you know.
Yes, yes. Now, I'm glad he gave her a dose of her own medicine. That's one thing. I agree with him there. I
Mm-hmm.
agree with her grandmother there, because she was the type of person, you know what your mama used to say, "Oh, you don't want to listen? I can show you better than I can tell you."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that she was that type of person, show me a better than I can tell you type of person. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what I love, and I'm not gonna say what I love this, but if you read it, you would know. Their text message exchange, and I'm not gonna say theirs, more so her text messages to him.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, it's the simplest things, even with me. But if you're just sending me text messages to let me know certain things that I need to know, I thought that was like the cutest thing in this book. I,
Now,
I really, I really thoroughly enjoyed that part of this book.
now I'm gonna tell you this. It was cute, but I also felt like, okay, at this point, y'all need to get on the phone. Like, damn, the rest of this, y'all need to get on the phone because y'all got things to discuss. Like,
Right.
it's, and that's why I say at that point I was kind of like, really, you
Yeah.
know, but um, of course they do get there happily ever after. But I'm gonna tell you next thing. And a couple of people have said this, so I'm pretty sure she knows. And like, I can't be nothing but honest. The epilogue was a repeat of the prologue, and it was like,
That kind of blew me, because I
right,
thought, I was like, maybe that was I reading something wrong, or was it a typo? So yeah, but that did kind of blow me, that, like you said, it was a repeat, because that epilogue could have been a wedding. It could have been a wedding. It could have
uh,
been a whole bunch of other things. It could have been a year later.
right. It could have been so much more. I mean, because it was already a short story. All 3 of these books were novellas,
Right.
and we had already got the dream at the beginning, and then we get the repeat of the dream at the end, and literally was it maybe I might be giving it a paragraph of new material to close it out. And it
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute. If this was just gonna repeat and end with this, then I felt like it could have been something and should have been something totally different because
Right.
I just kind of felt like we were cheated out of some moments,
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
especially
not even.
the
I
entire
had
book
questions.
almost apart, nearly the entire book apart. We were
Yeah.
cheated out of some moments.
I mean, and I'm gonna tell you what moments I feel like we missed out on. I would have loved to know what happened between Wilde and Cam's dad to make him completely be out of his life.
Mhm.
I would have loved to know a little bit more about her mom, Wilde's mom.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Because part of her reasoning, remember, her grandmother said that she had issues because she didn't feel loved by her mother. And
Mother,
if
right.
that up, then let's explore that. Like I really
Yeah.
that there was an opportunity to try to explore that on some level. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Never really fully got into it other than while just kind of acknowledging, yeah, I do. Like, well, somebody brings it to your attention, of course you do, but how are you going to handle it? How are you going to deal with it? And I think we just spent a whole lot of time going back and forth over text messages and them
I
wanting
think it
to,
was what for like 3 months, 3, 4 months.
yeah, it's like for them
Yeah.
wanting to reach out and both of them losing the willpower to do so, and resorting back to text messages. And it was like, okay, when by the time you got to the end, it was kind of like, well, we could have forewent that and got us some of these other moments. If they were still gonna be battling, I'm saying, then
Right.
see her kind of working on herself and dealing with her mom issues, going into, why she did have hiccups with trusting Jaleel because of Cam,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I think that there was just a missed opportunity to give us, let us reconnect with Wild in that way. And
To
then,
understand her a little bit more, because then
mhm,
I feel like you said there was a lot of childish moments in this book, and I feel like if and I'm gonna say she was childish, but then like you said, I still agree with what he did, but then just sitting here thinking about it, I'm saying to myself, yeah, he was a little petty. He could have been an adult, picked up the phone and called. Eventually, he did show up. I'm gonna just say this: I felt like Biggie, and it was all a dream.
yeah, because I'm just so that the epilogue. I did like the series. I didn't love book three. I
Yes, yeah.
did like the series, but I did not love book three. And the epilogue kind of just was the thing that was like, I think I could have dealt with all of that if the epilogue had been something more.
More, yeah. Even if
Hmm.
it would have went ahead further in the dream,
Yeah, like if it,
or not told the entire dream all over again.
yes, not tell the entire dream all over again and giving us something that really allowed us to embrace the happily ever after.
You,
So,
I wasn't even sure if his mama was real.
girl, listen, and I loved his
It was
mom.
all a dream.
I love I loved his mom.
I
His,
did too.
like
Oh,
I think a wedding would have been the perfect thing.
yeah.
Or at least I'm about to give away the big reveal. I can't do that. So
Y'all need to read this because I'm kind of mad. We like to do spoilers, but I guess we being spoiler free for some spoilers. We did
yeah,
leave. We did give y'all some spoilers. Yeah.
we gave y'all some spoilers, but we can't give y'all all the spoilers. So you got
Yes.
to read it for yourselves. And like I said, and I was book three kind of let me down, but I still
Yeah.
glad to see that they got their happily ever after though. That
They
was
finally got their act right.
right. They finally got together. Period.
Yeah. Together. And I'm spoiling this together that he bought them a house together and moved grandma into
Okay.
together.
Yes.
Yes. So the
So
mayor was, and he won another term. That
he did
part.
win another term. So,
And got the
we
girl.
got a little bit of the future, but it was
Just
like
a little. Just a
it
little.
was just a little like a little a
Yes.
little teaspoon to let you know that it was a happily ever after.
Now, can I do want to add this, and I'm gonna see, and maybe like if Gray Huffington hear this, slide in one of our DMs and tell us. If somebody else see this, slide in our DM and tell us. But I do know with Gray Huffington, this is her world, so they kind of sometimes intermingle. We might see them again and might learn a little bit more. We might. I wonder if we will see them in another book.
And I wonder that too. So now that I know that it's
Yeah.
now for me, this series was my first ever read by Gray Huffington.
Mhm.
I had been looking to get into her work because I'd heard great things. And this is no exception. You guys might actually appreciate, really, really like book three. I want
Mhm.
you guys to read books one, two, and three. If you're audio book listeners, I guess my third thing is two, and book three is an audio book. So
I wonder if she's gonna put it on audio because I sure was on her page the other day looking because she just came out with a new book called Rather,
yes,
that just dropped. So I was looking to see if maybe Wild and Restless ended up on audio and I might have missed it and it has not. I would
mhm.
be willing to listen to it because it is Miss B because Miss B be doing these narrations.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, you do. So hopefully book three will go on audiobook, but books one and two are. Even if you are not an audiobook fan, books one, two, and three are all on ebook. It is available on Amazon.com. And those books are in Reckless, Wild and Relentless, Wild and Restless. All of them, as these two covers have similar imaging, so you will definitely not miss it if you can't remember
Yeah.
now. Because all of them, and this is a rebrand cover for her, or I think yeah, this is a rebrand.
It's a rebrand because I have the original, the first book. I have the first book, and the cover was like a darkish purple and black. It was
Hmm.
definitely different, but I love this cover. She, brightened it up. I love that it's the same girl, different poses, the colors. It's a gorgeous cover. I'm
It's
a
a
fan
gorgeous.
of her covers. I love her covers on her book. On a lot of her books, I love her covers.
Yes, I'm a fan of this style, this kind of modern, vibrant style of color.
Right.
You know, the models and stuff. So this was very elegant
Mm-hmm.
to it. So I do love the covers, and like I said, they're all similar but different. Slightly different, and
Right.
that way it's easy to connect the series together, and so you won't miss it. So definitely make sure that you check out all three. Overall, I love me some Jaleel and Wild, and
I
I
do.
and I did enjoy the series, but I do hope that we get to see them in other places and maybe are in other. I just so if you
Yeah.
guys let us know so we can pick up those books and put those on the schedule to read together. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say this: I'm a fan. I'm a new fan of Miss Gray Huffington, so this did put me into her world. So you do have a new fan in me.
I'm glad. Look, I'm glad you came over because I'm a fan. I love her work. I can definitely say I love me some Gray Huffington.
I have been trying to find out, somewhere to start, and Gray Huffington actually offered book one for free. And so that's how it was an audiobook. And so that's how
Mm-hmm.
I dived into it. And so now I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. So I, I went, I literally went and purchased the second book and the third book like on the same day. so,
She did. You
so
definitely did.
I did, I did, I did. So that is Miss Gray Huffington with Wild and Relentless and Wild and Restless. Did you have anything else, Crystal, about the books?
I don't. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would love to see if they are in other stories. I am reading some more stories by her. I have so many books. I actually just bought another book. I think it's like three books by her. Another one. So I'm gonna get into that. And like I said, I really enjoyed this series. I'm not gonna lie. We didn't have too many characters. We had just enough characters.
Just enough.
It was more about the love and not the drama.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
love that. I love that. So, you know, I wish Jaleel and Cam and Wild and Grandma and Mama the best in life.
The
And I hope to see y'all somewhere else.
exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, Crystal, I'm gonna take this book off, and so that is our
This
get caught up.
is our first one, the first series we did. Woohoo!
I'm
Yes.
excited, but we actually got another series coming up that we're gonna do, and it is by Miss Tati Richardson, and it is The Oath and the Offer.
Ooh.
So I am
Now,
excited.
I feel like I want to say this. It just popped in my head. Shucky ducky quack quack. Cause Untamed and already got started. And she told me I need to be ready.
Listen, I have read the Oath, so the Offer is coming. Yeah,
The 31st of this month.
so it comes out the 31st of this month. Listen, I have been in my head trying to make this book be out already, uh, because we recently had narrator Lacey Laurent here, who's actually the narrator for the Oath and for the Offer, and
Mm-hmm.
was expressing, we're expressing I was expressing my joy of having read the Oath, and she was the one who said, "Hey, the Offer's coming soon," and I'm like,
Yes.
ooh, child. So I've been trying to make that book been out since she told me. But we're gonna read that series. Crystal has to read the Oath. I've already read the Oath. But trust me, it is unforgettable.
And guys, we have to have discussions about these books before we get on here because sometimes I get a little out of pocket. No, a lot of the times. Yeah, a lot of the times. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie. So I'm excited to get into this because then I know I'm gonna be blowing her phone up and be like, oh my gosh. So I'm ready.
Yeah,
And let me tell y'all this. Miss Untamed will not tell you nothing
at all, at
at
all.
all. I be trying, you guys. I will ask, she won't tell me, and then we'll start talking about something else, and then I'll try to ask her on the slide, and she be like, "You ain't that slick. You won't tell me nothing.
At all. Because then what
Ain't
I gonna
nobody
do?
tell me nothing." What
Listen,
Nas X say, ain't nobody tell me nothing. Untamed ain't tell me nothing.
ain't tell you nothing. Because all of these emotions that I went through and I be feeling, you gonna have to go through it
She
with me.
wants me to go through them too. Yes, yes.
You
I'm
gonna have to,
excited for this next book, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
and hopefully, I'm going to extend the invitation out to Miss Lacey Laurel to see if she'll come with us when we discuss these books. Especially because they're an audiobook, and she does a listen for the balance of your days, as Miss Veronica. Listen to the audiobook for the Oath and the Offer, because I can
Oh,
guarantee you.
you know I am. I already got it queued. Now I just gotta be ready for it. You know what? I might go ahead and make the first chapter my bedtime story tonight. You guys, I have bedtime stories every night. I'm a grown ass woman with bedtime stories
And
every single night.
nothing wrong with that at all. I listen at night all the time. It's how
They either talking to me or I'm reading.
I get myself to the end of the chapter.
I don't know how to do to the end of the chapter. And I'm trying to learn to like set those timers and see because sometimes I do hear myself snore. And instead of me, just stopping and going to sleep, no, my butt gotta wake up and listen to it all over again. Because I be thinking I missed something.
Listen,
So I'll be
I
good.
my brain, it's like it's crazy because I've gotten so used to it now. Like I know what the end of chapter is, and I can tell right when I'm getting sleepy. And so I can hear the end of the chapter, and I'd be like, I think I need to listen to a couple minutes, and I'm like, yep, that's where I started getting sleepy at. But this is why I don't. I set my timer and not just go to sleep listening. I messed up and did that one day, and I was listening to Jacoby, and I had a dream, and I woke my
Me
husband.
again. It was all a dream.
Listen, in the dream, my husband and I were talking, and he sounded like Jacoby, and I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Them dreams will do that. That's them books will do that to you. That I don't read books that spook me, creep me out at night because I don't want to be dreaming about it and be up and then be looking around like is somebody coming to get me. I don't want to do that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you know if I start because if it's something that pops off at the beginning, I'm gonna be calling you. Be like, now why you ain't tell me this? So
Listen.
yeah. Oh, I'm ready.
I'm a, I will say it like this. Now I will look. I do want to put a disclaimer out there, about the oath. Now, if you are sensitive to death, if someone in your family who's close to you has passed,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you to exercise caution with that because
Okay.
that is a part of that story. I won't say
Okay.
where it is and all that kind of stuff. But if you have experienced someone is close to you who has recently passed away, or that you're struggling with grief, then you might not want to dive into crack. Now, if you can
Got you.
enough to get past that part, I promise you, you'll do you'll fare pretty well with the rest of the book because it's not a heavy. It covers some heavy topics and it covers that heavy instances of death, but it's not something that's gonna stay down on you.
Right. Got you.
So it's
Okay.
not. I always say, it's hard for me to sit here and say that it's not a heavy book when you do cover death in this book, but it's the rest. It's got a lot of comic relief in there, um, and a whole lot of other things.
I like a whole lot of other things.
A
Okay.
whole lot of
Okay.
other
I'm ready.
things.
I'm ready.
So yeah. If you can stomach that part, then you'll be in for a treat. And I will give this disclaimer. I'm gonna let you know right now. If you type of person who want sweet romance, or you're not into a whole lot of foolery when it comes to your sexual preference and reading, don't read this book.
Oh, I'm all for this. You know what I told you? I'm a trisexual.
Now listen, you will try right. You need to be trisexual levels to read this book. Okay?
If you're not a trisexual, she said do not read this book. And if you don't know what a trisexual is, then definitely don't read this book.
Exactly. Not on trisexual levels, don't even try it. Like,
Yes,
or
yes.
trying to even consider think about it. Like, that's not your forte. Don't read this book. And I
Hmm.
encourage people from reading it, but there's just certain things that you do have to put in a disclaimer for, because at the end of the day, everybody has their preferences, and I want to respect your boundaries. But as for me,
Okay. I got you.
okay,
I got you.
okay.
I got you.
Listen, that's for me. Let me get my Cardi B voice on. Okay, okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready. So I'm
Oh,
excited. So yes, the next books we will be discussing is The Oath and The Offer by Tati Richardson. Is it
exactly.
Richardson
That's
or Richard?
by Lacey Laurel.
And is it just Lacey Laurel by herself or is it Midnight Michael as well?
It is just Lacey Laurel.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
And she is tackling a few voices. So yeah.
Okay. Then I'm okay. Let me get started. Let me get started.
So yeah. She does a great job. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. We
Yay!
excited to bring you, as you can see, we did not have a book discussion of the month because we wanted to you the book review
Yes, yes.
that we had promised you guys. So we wanted to get that in. So we opted instead, since we had read the series, to do that instead. But of course, we do have our narrator of the month, which is going to be with Mark Wheeler. That's going to be July 31st at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please make sure that you tune in during that time. You will see us discuss with him. He's a newer narrator on the scene, so y'all show him some love.
There we go.
All right, y'all. Well, until next time, don't forget to get caught up. Good night.
Good night.